Hello everyone, it's Asate Games. Today I will be showing how you can add Fog of War to your default game. Fog of War is basically this, where you cannot see the areas you haven't visited yet, but when you visit them, the areas are cleared of fog so you can see them even if you are not close to there. And we will be adding this to our game. For this I have my fog tile map, which has two tiles. One is fog and the other is empty, which will be used for cleared area. For this, I go to resources, right click, new. First tile source, I create a fog of war tile source. As you can see, we have two tiles, tile 1 fog tile and tile 2 is the empty tile. After that, we will need a tile map. Again, right click, new tile map, and we have a fog of war tile map. Add a layer named fog on the tile source. Select the fog of war tile source you have created. If you try to use this as it is, you won't be able to draw fog on it, so go to the fog layer, press space, select the empty tile, and draw empty tile to left up and right down edges of your map. For this I will go to around 1,000, like 900 something. What needs to be that, because otherwise Defold will not know your tile map's borders and will not be able to draw anything on it. After you are done with this, go to your collection. This is my collection. Right click, add a game object, name it fog of war tile map. Right click, add component file, select the fog of war tile map. Then we will need to do some coding. On the scripts, right click, new script, name it fog of war script or whatever you want. Now let's see our script. First, you need to create some variables. One is the tile size. This is the tile size of the map you have created. I have 16 by 16. Then have the layer's name, which is fog, and our fog ID is 1, because when you go to the tile source, the first tile is fog and the empty tile is the second. So fog ID 1, fog cleared ID is 2. Then if I go to parent and increase the camera's Z position, maybe a bit more. As you can see, we are not actually drawing fog everywhere. We are just drawing it within a distance, and that distance is set from here. When you set fog draw X to 20, that means we will have 20 tiles to the right and 20 tiles to the left drawn. Then the same thing, but for the Y direction. This is the vertical, it's 15. Then we have two variables to store. First, the drawn tiles. Drawn tiles are the tiles within these distances, and the cleared grids are the tiles you have visited before, so they are stored here and won't be drawn again. Last grid position, we set this to a random value at first, so it will draw correctly when the game starts. And for clear radius is 5. Let me change this real quick. If I set this to 2, you will see only 2 tiles around the player is cleared. If I set this to 8, you will see now 8 tiles are cleared. But for my case, 5 or 4 is fine. Now on the init, we have input focus, which is not needed. That's probably from somewhere else. On the update, first we take the player's position. Since I only have my main collection and player is there, I can directly take it, but if you are using different scenes with different collections, you may want to watch my scene change video to be able to get the player correctly. Then we find which grid the player is on. We have the grid X where we divide player's position X by the tile size, and the grid Y again divided by tile size. So we first check if our X position has changed or the Y position has changed or both of them changed. Then we update our last grid positions because we are at a new position. Then we update the fog. On the update fog method, we have the new drawn tiles. As we moved, the tiles that needs to be drawn will also change, so we will save the new tiles here. Then we have two nested for loops. The first one checks tiles from player's position Y plus minus fog draw Y, because we will be drawing those tiles, and the same for the X. We take the grid key with adding strings. Then we calculate the distance from player's position to the tile's position. If we have the grid key in our cleared grids, that means we have been there and cleared the fog before. If we have the grid key in the cleared grids, that means we have been there before and cleared the fog. So we don't necessarily do anything. We just say, yes, it is within the limits of the tiles we will draw, and actually all of them have it because all of the tiles here are within these limits. That means we will be drawing them. If its distance is within the distance we clear, which we calculate by fog clear radius multiplied by tile size, that means it hasn't been cleared yet, but we need to clear it because we are close to there, so we clear the fog in the tile. If not, if we haven't cleared it before and we don't need to clear it yet, then we just draw fog there. Then for the key in the pairs, drawn tiles, this stores the tiles that were drawn before we moved. If we don't have them within the new drawn tiles, that means they are not within the limit we will be drawing, so we clear them. The reason why we do this is to prevent from reaching the maximum drawn tile amount of default. If you go to game project and type tile map, you will have a max tile count, which is 2048. You can increase this to 10,000 if you want, if you need it, but it's still a better practice to not force the engine more than it wants to do, unless you really need it. So we clear them to have less drawn tiles on the map, but we don't really see it, so it will not affect the gameplay. Then we set the new drawn tiles as the current drawn tiles. The helper methods to us, we calculate distance with this method, and this is actually how we calculate the hypotenuse on a triangle. We first find the x length and the y length, then we take the sum of them being squared and take the square root of it to get the distance. Then we have drop fog in tile, and we check if the tile is not a tile we have drawn. Then we set the tile to fog ID on the tile map's fog layer. Then edit to drawn tile so we will not draw it again. We have the remove fog tile, which we simply set the tile's ID to 0 so it's empty, not drawn. And we remove it from the drawn tiles too. Lastly, we have the clear fog in the tile. This is the method we use when we get close to a point. So we edit into the cleared grids and set its tile to fog cleared ID. And this is how you get this effect. I am not bound by collision, so I can go around. Let's say you want to change the tile size. For this, I have my 32 by 32 map. I will be going to my tile source, change the image to the 32. Fog tile is on the one and the empty is on the two. Then we will go to our script, make the tile size to 32, try again, and it works. The advantage of having a larger tile size is you actually don't need to draw as much, so I can halve them and it will still work. Let's see. With this, I am still having a similar effect, but I am using a lot less tiles, which is a plus if you have tile map count problems. You don't want to increase it. You can use this approach, but the smaller the tile size, the better it will look, so it's a choice you need to make if you want to have a better look or better performance. And that's it. That's how you can add Fog of War to your default game. I will be adding this projects file to my itch.io page. You can find the link in the comment section. If you have a question about it, you can again ask me in the comment section. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.